Hi there, welcome to Camera Than Coffee, where you and me discuss deserving cameras. And today we'll be looking at a detailed specs comparison of the new Fuji XH2s and one of the most owned XS10. It's a new channel, so if you find this video helpful, do consider subscribing. It helps me when you do that. Cool, let's begin. So one of the most loved XS10 is now 1.5 years older than the new Fuji XH2s, and there is a significant difference of $1,500 in their price. Now let's start with the most important specs of the camera so that you can decide which one is right for your needs. Both the cameras have 26.1 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor, but the one on XH2s is the new stacked sensor with better readout speed for faster image processing capabilities, resulting in better images in low ISO and low noise in high ISO. And not just that, the new X Processor 5 on XS2s has introduced AI deep learning to the Fuji X series for the first time. And together, the new sensor and the processor on XH2s will allow a continuous shooting of 15 FPS using mechanical shutter and 40 FPS using electronic shutter. Wow. However, speaking of ISO, is the same on both the sides. But when it is about shutter speed, Fuji XS2s has an edge over the XS10. Next up is autofocus, and this is where you will notice a big difference in their accuracy. Both the cameras have hybrid autofocus system with equal number of autofocus points, and also during nighttime photography or in low light situation when the light is not in our favor, both the cameras claim to focus down to light level of -7 EV. However, XS10's autofocus is not that promising comparatively, especially when it is about AF tracking. Also, sadly, it lacks animal eye autofocus as well. Looking at the dimensions of both the cameras, it looks like the XH2s is both larger and heavier than the XS10, and it is quite visible as soon as you look at the grip of XS2s. Good for creators, both the cameras have an articulating touchscreen or flip screen with a slight difference in display quality. On top of that, XH2s has a sub-LCD monitor too that displays shutter speed, aperture, ISO, white balance, and a few other infos that will be quite helpful. Moving on, XS2s also has a bigger EVF with 5.76 million dots, which simply means better clarity. But look here, the XS10 has a manual pop-up flash, which is missing on XS2s. Next point is about storage. One really good thing XH2s has is that it has a dual card slot, one of which also supports CF Express Type B card, delivering faster writing speed and better buffer capabilities. Now comes the battery. Both the cameras have internally chargeable batteries, but as you can see here, XH2s has almost double the battery life of XS10, both in case of photos as well as videos. And XH2s also gives you the benefit of being weather sealed, good for travel and adventure creators. And yeah, both the cameras have X mount. Now before we talk about the video specs, let's have a quick 10-second look at the ports present on both the cameras. And here I must point out that there is no dedicated headphone jack on XS10, but you do get an headphone adapter with the camera. Cool. Now comes the video specs, and here lies a lot of differences. Let's start with the best part. The new XS2s can record 6.2K videos up to 30p with a way high recording limit of 240 minutes, which can be further increased using Fan 001. It's an extra accessory that you can buy along with XS2s. Talking about 4K, the best XS2s has to offer is DCR 4K up to 120p, which is just 30p on XS10. And when it is about Full HD recording, both the cameras offer 1080p up to 240p. Anyway, the showstopper is the external recording specs of XS2s. It allows you to record 12-bit Apple ProRes RAW up to 6.2K. Wow. And in addition to F-Log, XS2s also supports F-Log 2, which records an expanded dynamic range of 14 plus stops. Great. And yeah, not to forget, both the cameras have 5x in-body image stabilization with just one stop of difference in shake reduction. But beside the stops, it is the new processor that will give us better IBIS performance in XS2s. And last but not the least, both cameras can be used for live streaming. This is it guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and if the video was helpful, do support me by subscribing. I'll see you in the next video.